Hi guys, Ben here from 100M Man, and I'm just talking about, or putting together 3 or 4 small little videos on stress. It's an increasing issue here in the UK, and I think on a global basis, and it's down to just a few factors or a few things that individuals can change without too much thought. Now, I like to think of myself as a listener. I listen to a lot of people, and as a result of that, I tend to analyse information a lot and think about perhaps other ways of thinking about things. What I've realised, certainly over the last 2 years, with the financial crisis being a bit rocky, is there are a lot of victims out there. When I mean victim, I mean the mentality that people have, the thought process. Now, for me, the victim mentality has never been one that is particularly productive. I always find that it produces a number of thoughts, emotions, behaviours that are unsupportive to a positive life, to living freely and abundantly. I don't really subscribe to the victim mentality. I see the outside world, or the things that are happening to me externally as a result of perhaps things that I'm doing, and take ownership over those things. So when people say to me that they don't know what to do, that they're struggling, they're stuck, they're unable to make changes, I ask them just to think about why that is. What usually has happened is they've become so disassociated from the real world, the real choices that they have. You know, if there's elements of your life that you're not particularly happy with, then only you can make the choice to change it. And it may mean that you're uncomfortable for an element of time. But from experience, the most productive people are generally those that are most uncomfortable. Those that are constantly evolving, gaining knowledge, gaining understanding, able to communicate to a vast variety of people with any number of beliefs, any number of skills. Just the other day I was learning about blood glucose levels for myself for part of the training program I'm on. And so many people were saying, well, why are you doing that? You know, you don't have diabetes. Why would you want to know what your blood glucose levels are? Well, I wanted to know because often we only react, not being proactive, but react to the outside of our body, to what's happening on the outside, at a vanity level. We're in good shape. We assume that naturally what's going on inside is in good shape. Actually, that's very rarely the case. You know, I've met so many people that from a distance look fantastic, but the second you get up close, you see them, you see the blotchy faces, you see the bags under their eyes, you see the stress that they're holding, the tension. But people were asking, why are you doing this blood glucose test? Well, I've got this knowledge now about the blood glucose levels, which is very present. It's a modern approach. You know, I haven't taken a Victorian or a Eastern perception of it. I've taken a scientific approach towards it. And as a result of doing it, I've actually learned not only about myself, but a lot about how these things work, how blood works within me. which enables me to communicate people that also have an understanding, that also have that knowledge, which then opens up so many more things. You know, they say knowledge is power. I agree with that. But I think it's what you do with that knowledge which is the true demonstration of how powerful an individual can be. And it links back to stress. The more you understand yourself, what's going on inside, what's happening, what you're doing, the more you can evolve, develop, let go of any pre-stresses, any pre-triggers. Everybody has the ability to be stressed. Everybody. Everybody has gone through some kind of hardship in their life which gives them permission to have stress. It's how we learn, adapt, evolve as a result of that stress that differentiates ourselves from those who appear not to have stress, who understand what stress is doing or happening in the inside world. It's about getting back into the present moment. Being aware of what's going on around us is fine. Having interest in modern television, having an interest in politics, current affairs is fantastic. But when it starts to take the attention away from what's happening in here, which ultimately affects what's happening up here and the behaviours that come as a result, then it becomes a problem. I've worked with some people that have become so completely disassociated from the outside world, well, from the inside world, sorry, that when that reality finally comes home, they're lost. They don't know who they are. They've been giving themselves this identity based on external factors, playing an element of victim because of financial crisis, wars and conflicts, social media, beliefs enforced upon them by another. They've adopted this mentality that supports no one in the greater picture. So just to finish this off now, just to say that if we're dealing with stress, you're struggling with stress, it's time you took ownership over stress, brought it back inwards to you, spent a small amount of time just reflecting on how you might go about changing it, how you might go about taking ownership over it, discovering perhaps your own identity, you know, who you are, what your legacy statement is. When I mean legacy statement, I mean the person that you would like to be, not in this lifetime or the next, but the one after that. There's a plaque right here. I'm in Brixton Hill now, but there's a plaque there that says Mrs. Charlotte Budd and then some scripture under it. Now, I don't know who she is. Obviously she was pretty important to have such a large monument there. If that was your monument, that was your name on that there, what would it say about you? So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Let me know how you're getting on. Hit me up on social media. But for now, peace out.